Good morning, friends. We have Ms. Amrita Burman. She is the Deputy Director of Sunbeam Group of Educational Institutions, Varanasi. They are one of the leading and the premium chain of schools of the Eastern India. And I'm also a proud alumni of the Sunbeam Group of Schools. And I'm truly honored and equally very emotional this time that I have the Deputy Director of Sunbeam, who has been the guru and mentor in my early stage of education. And I'm such a caliber today that I am interviewing her.
So that makes us very proud, for sure.
So, ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for scheduling your precious time and witnessing this event, blocking your entire day's calendar to be a part of this event. As the name says, ma'am, this is a New Normal Education Leadership Summit and Awards. What does the word New Normal for you stands?
So in fact, I've been talking a lot about this new normal, and I think one new normal always gives way to another one. So we are talking a lot about this new normal because of the kind of 18 months that we have faced. The new normal, according to me, is now already become a normal from the new, because it's become a way of life, and especially for all us educationists, it's been a great learning journey. But today we are all kind of settled because we feel good about ourselves. We worked very hard, we've learned a lot, we've been a part of this learning curve, and the new normal has given way, I think, to people, both from teachers' point of view and from children's point of view, people who are very resilient, very persevering, people who have realized that for their existence, it's extremely important that you, kind of just go on with the problems. Don't get bogged down by them, because problems are going to be a part of your life. So I think for both students and for teachers, our education in the past has actually come to great use today. Had our education not been that you need to face challenges, you need to be persevering, you need to just go on with what is there on hand and look for solutions, I don't think we would have come from that stage to the new normal today. So for me, the new normal is just great learning and a great feeling of satisfaction.
Right. Ma'am, as the pandemic arose and we all, entered into a very uncertain situation, how did you, under your leadership, balance the teachers as well as the teaching outcomes or the teaching delivery among the students?
Right. So, the moment the pandemic hit, I think the fraternity that really took the biggest challenge, I should say it was a setback for them, was the teachers. Because as somebody just mentioned in the panel also, just one fine day we were told, well, from tomorrow there's no school. Kids just were home, shut up, but they were actually enjoying themselves because it was a newness of no school. And actually most of the schools had finished with their annuals, and it was actually vacation time for them. But for the teachers, it became a big trying time because they were told that, look, schools are not going to shut down, we're going to continue with teaching. And everybody just had to use a device. At that stage, that device was also not actually appropriate because many teachers didn't even have a laptop with them. Many of them for months continued teaching on a small mobile, which was a huge challenge for them. But I think what was very important is the way the school leaders, all the admins, made the teachers feel comfortable. This fraternity was taken on board by the admins, by the school leaders, just to tell them that, look, it's a difficult time, we need to overcome it, but we're going to handhold you. We are going to be with you in this boat. We are not going to sink, we're going to swim, we're going to float, we're going to go to the other side. So a lot of money, and I think the maximum amount of money in a very difficult time when schools were not getting fees was actually invested in teachers' training. We managed to have not only training from the best, we managed to collaborate. We had sessions where a teacher who had tried something new was taking a session in the evening and was talking to the complete fraternity that, I tried this, it's worked, maybe you should also try it. We had the teachers collaborating with their students because they were better than the teachers on technology. So when she was there on her device and she didn't know from where to mute herself or where to get her camera on, the child was saying, ma'am, they're down, that button, ma'am, that's what you need to click on. So I think that the whole environment was made very comfortable for the teaching fraternity. And that's what really impacted the students. The students also started respecting their teachers. Parents started respecting the teachers because they saw the kind of struggle the teachers were going through. So I think it's been a beautiful time for camaraderie and learning amongst the teaching fraternity.
How does this kind of knowledge sharing platform and a physical event where you see the government, the academia, and even the corporate meeting together helps overall the industry?
So I think for this, meet that we're having today, the discussions and everything, the best part is that it's back to normal. It just gives you a feeling, okay, I hope there's no third wave. We all want it to be like this. So I think that's the first most important feeling that I want to talk about. The other is, I think in these past few months, maximum collaboration has happened even in terms of webinars because it was very easy. It was no money. It was low investment. So I think we've not really missed out on talking to each other. But what we were really missing out on is just meeting over an informal cup of tea. We were listening to a lot of people speaking, possibly people speaking from all over the world. But the connects that you have on exchanging your cards, of having that little discussion one-to-one, I think this is going to be the new feel that I'm getting today. When even for the past 2 hours that I've been here, I don't know how many new people I've connected with. That really doesn't happen on a webinar. You just click in, you speak, and you click out, and that's the end of the story. So I think this informal discussion is the newness, or let me say going back to the old before the new normal, because rest we have been listening to a lot of webinars over the pandemic time.
And the last one, we are just a 2-month-old startup, and when the organization was closing down, when the people were losing jobs, we took this as a challenge to open a company. Any message or any advice for the Ardor Media Group and our team members?
So my advice, Chandan, to you would not only be as somebody who's come for your panel discussion and your meet today. It's also as an educator, a teacher to you, because you're also a part of our alumni. And I would like to tell you that I think it's a great philanthropic effort that you've taken, because giving jobs to people at a time when they're actually losing out on jobs is a great service that you're doing to a lot of people. So keep that up. The other is, when you start something new, there will be a lot of roadblocks. There will be people telling you, do this, do it this way, you're right, you're wrong. I think what you need to do is just follow your heart. Sometimes when we think too much, we think wrong. But I think when you think from your heart, you actually follow your gut. And I always tell this to my children that read Malcolm Gladwell's Blink, and you will get that intuitive sense. And he always talks about, just see what's the feeling that you get from inside, from your heart. If it's a good feeling, don't bother about the world. Just carry on, and I'm sure that you're going to get success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this event and coming all over.
Thank you so much for calling me. I'm honored. Thank you.